New bike day today, and we didn't break the bank. We got a few $100 bills left in our wallet, and we're talking about the Polygon Siskiu T7. Welcome to Straight Line MTB. Thank you for joining us as I talk about our brand new bike. Under $2,000 is the 2021 Polygon Siskiu T7. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss more content on this bike, and check out our channel because we got awesome reviews of other bikes that we've done in the past. So before we get started, let's cut to the unboxing so you guys can see what you get when you pull this bike out of the box straight from bikesonline.com. So inside the box, looks like Bikes Online has hooked you up with a nice little setup package. Looks pretty nice. Got your bicycle owner's manual. You get a nice little torque wrench, similar to something to the YT that you get. It's just a kind of a primitive torque wrench to tighten some of the nuts on there. Looks like you get a pedal wrench, 15mm cone wrench. Oh, nice. Comes with a little set of tools that I guess you could use with this possibly. So that's nice. It has little torque wrench numbers here so you can find your torque numbers. It's time to ride. There's some paper work for your stuff. So this goes to that wrench that you just saw. Free bottle opener. Oh, cool. For all you beer drinkers or soda pops. Cool little keychain bottle opener here. Ooh, you get some pedals. Actually, you get some alloy. Seems like some type of aluminum pedals with replaceable pins. That's actually pretty cool. Most of the pedals that come with are either not usable, like, oh, you get all the reflectors you need. Little bell. I don't know what these are. It's like cable ports, maybe, something like that. I don't know, they are split down the middle. All the information for your RockShox fork. All right, so now we got this bike out of the box, and let's just take a look at it and go over some of the features of it. Polygon, it is a direct-to-consumer bike here in the United States. You can get them from bikesonline.com, which is where we got this bike from. Earlier this year, this bike started out at $17.99 and has crept up to $18.99, and I missed the boat, so I got it at $19.99. This is a size large. Out of the box, no pedals. This bike came in at 36 pounds for our size large, which is pretty porky. Once I got it set up tubeless, put my Tannis tubeless armor, my Lamin-X protection tape. Don't forget to check our link below to get 20% off that awesome frame protection. And our DMR Vault pedals. This bike tips the scale at a portly 36.5 pounds. Yikes. So talking about Polygon. So Polygon, like I said, is a direct-to-consumer brand. You get them from Bikes Online. For 2021, they have, just like every other bike brand and every other bike, they've slackened this bike out, made it a little bit longer, the C-tube angle a little bit steeper. They say it is lighter than the previous models, but I'm wondering what that means because the other one must have been just a tad bit heavier. But Polygon as a company, somehow it reminds me just the quality and the paint quality of this bike is the Marin Rift Zone that we reviewed in the past. So I think there's a relationship between Polygon and Marin. So if you guys are regular viewers of the channel, you follow us, you see that we review bikes, carbon bikes in the $4,000 to $5,000 range. So Pulling this bike out of the box at $2,000, I was a little bit nervous of what I would find, but I was pleasantly surprised looking at this bike. Polygon did an excellent job on designing this frame. The frame has nice lines on it, and even the paint quality, it's got a fade to it, and it's several tones, different tones of paint, and it has a textured section in the black area that looks really cool. It really stands out from other bikes that I've seen. So it looks like they did just step up the quality there in the paint. The welds look great. I wouldn't say that it's on par with something like our aluminum Ibises or other higher end aluminum bikes, but I will say that for $2,000, I feel like this frame quality is high and that you're not going to be disappointed. So at $2,000, I wanted to bring in a budget bike in this price range, and I did quite a bit of shopping. I looked at the big name brands as well as some of the other direct-to-consumer brands, and I will have to say I landed on this Polygon T7 because for even the price jumped up to $2,000, the competition can't really keep pace with Polygon for what you get. So looking at the drivetrain for in this price range of $2,000, it is very rare or even non-existent to find the Diore 12-speed drivetrain that you get on this bike. So you're getting the Diore 12-speed cassette, shifter, and derailleur. You're getting Shimano off-branded cranks. For brakes, you're getting the Tektro Orion R, so you're getting the 4-piston front, 2-piston rear, which I think is appropriate for this bike if they perform well. For the wheels, and you're getting the Entity brand 30mm internal width and flow snap tires. These are the sticky compound. So the tires, it did differ from what the explanation on the website said, because it said you'd get the Trail Boss tires. I've had these snap flows on our Rift Zone 3, and they're heavy and they're slow rolling, but there's grip for days. So I'm gonna ride these and see how they perform. And again, the wheel set, I weighed both wheels when I pulled them off to put tubeless, and they're on the heavy side. And looking at other reviews, it sounds like you can save a couple pounds swapping out some tires and wheels. So if that's something in the future you wanted to look to maybe lose some weight or just upgrade, I think that was where I would start on this bike. And then for suspension on this bike, you're getting the RockShox Recon Silver fork, so you get the lockout and rebound adjust on this bike, as well as the air spring. I think that is about appropriate for bikes in this range. This might be a tiny bit step up from some of the bigger name brands which you would get for this price. And the rear shock, so this is the RockShox Select Plus rear shock. I think this is definitely a standout for this price range. I've had this shock on other bikes and appreciated it, and it worked really well. So you get the lockout and the open mode as well as rebound. And then looking at the dropper post, this is a Trans X dropper post, and our size large has a 170mm drop. This is similar to the Brand X, I believe. They're the same company, and these are droppers that I love. They're a little bit on the heavy side, but they never have a problem. I've never had an issue with them. So this would stay if I was to keep this bike and keep riding it. So I think this is one thing you don't have to worry about. The lever is some other story. I don't particularly like their lever. It's a clunky, it's just kind of funky. It gets the job done, but that could be something in the future you might want to look at changing. And then also the stem and bar are Entity brand. That's the Polygon's house brand. The bar is 780mm wide, and it's a 35mm diameter width. And then the stem, I think it's a 40mm length. Entity grips, they look really thin, and I like some of those chunky grips, but we're gonna ride them and see how they do. One thing I definitely want to highlight about this bike, not only that it's a $2,000 bike, because I've seen bikes that are $3,000 and maybe even $4,000 that don't have this. I'm looking at you, Ibis. Is the Chainstay Protection. So it's molded, and it's that rubber, it's gonna keep that chain slapped quiet, and it looks really nice. So shout out to Polygon for having that small touch on this bike, which I'm really gonna appreciate, and I think you will too. Everything on this bike, the cable routing is internal. While the entry ports are a little bit on the generic side, they're just rubber grommets that you push through. I was fiddling with the dropper post cable, and they popped out. Not horrible, but yeah, I mean, $2,000, I still think it's a great touch that you get that internal routing and they did something to keep those cables quiet and water won't get in. And then also the water bottle cage, again, it's something that's small. Some brands don't, most brands do it, some don't, that it does have the water bottle cage inside. I've not put one in, but it looks like you got quite a bit of room to put a larger bottle. So I like that because I'm not a pack wearer. If I don't have to, I like to wear my water bottle, strap a tube and some tools to the frame and hit the road. So high five to Polygon for hooking up your boy Straight Line MTB. One other thing, and this is similar to our Ibis Ripmo and Ripley AF, is that Downtube Protection, this bike has none. So I would definitely recommend that you guys run out and get some lizard skins, the carbon leather pad that you can put down here, or you can even probably buy other brand bikes that have the protection that you can buy, the rubber protection, just to protect the down tube, because rocks love to hit that area. I did not foresee this, so I put our Laminex, our thick Laminex down there, but I am going to run out and get something to protect that down tube, because when you're hauling balls, you don't want to smack a rock and dent your frame. So I am going to take this bike out to our local trails and put it through the ringer, and I'm going to report back to you and let you know how this bike rides on our first ride review as well as a long-term review. And I will let you know, is there that big a difference between a $5,000 bike and a $2,000 bike? So don't forget to like and subscribe so you do not miss out. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at straightline_MTB, where you can catch daily information about everything we're doing, bikes. I'll give updates and gear and whatever else crazy stuff we're doing out there, as well as straightlinemtb.com. If you guys have any questions or comments about this bike, feel free to leave them below and we'll get back to you. And then again, thank you, and we'll see you on the next video.